Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into an idea that honestly completely flipped the script on what it means to be successful at work. It's this idea that our feelings, they matter just as much, maybe even more, than just being book smart. Let's get into how this one concept really changed the game.
All right, let me ask you something straight up. If you had to bet on one single thing that predicts who's going to be successful, what would you pick? For a long time, the answer to that question seems super simple, almost obvious. I mean, everywhere you looked, from the top business schools to the corner offices, everyone agreed there was this one golden ticket, right? The one undisputed king of the hill when it came to getting ahead. And that was, you guessed it, your IQ, your raw intelligence, right? How logical you are. The thinking was pretty simple. If you're smart, you're set for life. But as I think we all kind of know deep down, that's never really been the whole story, has it? So this brings us to what a lot of people now call the IQ myth. And think about it, you've seen this, right? We've all met someone who is absolutely brilliant, a genius even, but they just can't lead a team to save their life. Or they just can't seem to connect with people. This huge gap between being book smart and actually being successful in life, well, that was a puzzle that somebody had to figure out. And then, bam! In 1995, this book comes out from a psychologist and journalist named Daniel Goleman, and it just lands like a bombshell. The title was Emotional Intelligence, and it basically put forward this totally radical new way of thinking about what being smart even means. This was the big EQ revelation. Goleman's idea was, when you boil it down, pretty simple, but it was also incredibly profound. He argued that how we handle our own emotions and how we understand and react to the emotions of other people, that could actually be a way bigger deal for success than just your IQ. He gave this whole other kind of smart a name, and that's emotional intelligence, or EQ. He basically defined it as a two-part deal. First, you've got to be aware of and manage your own emotions. And second, you need the ability to recognize, understand, and even influence the emotions of the people around you. And this is so important. EQ isn't just about being nice. It's about being smart with feelings, your own and everyone else's, to get things done, to get better outcomes. It's about being effective, not just agreeable. Okay, so let's put these two side by side, because this really gets to the heart of it. You can think of IQ as the cold, hard processor in a computer. It's all about logic, patterns, and abstract stuff. But EQ, that's the human element. That's about knowing yourself, really connecting with other people through empathy, and just knowing how to handle social situations. And Goleman's big point was, you can't just have one. To really truly succeed, you need both.
And here's the best part. This isn't some kind of vague, fuzzy, magical quality that you're either born with or you're not. Nope. Goleman actually laid out a super clear blueprint. He broke EQ down into 5 core skills that you can actually learn and get better at. And you know, the whole journey, it starts by looking in the mirror. So check this out. This framework is great because the skills kind of build on top of each other. It all kicks off with self-awareness. That's just being able to recognize, hey, I'm feeling really frustrated right now. Once you have that awareness, then you can move to self-regulation. So instead of snapping at someone in a meeting, you can actually manage that feeling. And from there, it's like a domino effect. It fuels your own inner motivation, helps you understand others through empathy, and then finally, you use all of that in your social skills to become a great leader or collaborator. Okay, so this is all really interesting theory, right? But what's the so what? Why should you actually care about any of this for your career? Well, here's why. Because this stuff isn't just fluffy soft skills. This stuff has a real, hard-hitting impact on the bottom line, and more importantly, on how far you go in your career. Seriously, EQ has become totally central to how modern companies work. Let's just take one example, conflict resolution. A leader with high EQ, they can walk into a tense meeting and just read the room. They can pick up on what's not being said and find that little bit of common ground that a purely by-the-book, logical approach would totally miss. I mean, from deciding who to promote all the way to building a company culture where people are happy, this stuff drives real results. So, you might be thinking, this idea is from 1995. It's kind of old news, right? Well, not at all. Actually, its legacy is probably more important right now than it has ever been. Think about it. In a world with more AI, more automation, and more people working from home, what's our biggest advantage? It's our human skills, our ability to connect with people, to empathize, to work together. That's the real competitive edge now. And listen, there's really no way to overstate this. Goleman's work was an absolute game changer.
It completely rewired how HR departments and leadership programs think about talent. The idea that we should hire and promote people based on more than just what they know or how high their IQ is, that's now a fundamental cornerstone of how good businesses are run.
And if you want to boil this entire revolution down to one single sentence, this is it right here. Mastering your emotions isn't a replacement for being smart, it's a critical partner to it. They're two sides of the very same coin. You need both.
So, as we wrap this up, let me just leave you with a question to chew on. Think about those 5 skills we talked about: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Which one of those is your natural superpower? And be honest, which one could probably use a little more work? Because that journey of getting better at them, well, that's the real journey of unlocking your own potential.